What's going on, guys? It's Jack here, taking a look at another NBA draft prospect. Today, checking in on Dennis Smith Jr., the highly touted point guard from NC State. Now, Dennis Smith came into the season with very high expectations, and really had a very positive season, but he did underwhelm in some aspects, especially because, the Wolfpack finished with a 15-17 record. There were hopes that Dennis Smith could be the guy to turn that program around. Unfortunately for Mark Gottfried, he wasn't, and therefore he lost his job. But it had less to do with Dennis Smith than it did with the composition of the roster. But let's get into Dennis Smith, the player. First of all, one of my favorite players to watch. At 6'2", 200 pounds or so, from North Carolina. He is very explosive, and he regained pretty much all of that explosiveness after tearing his ACL his senior season in high school. And he came to NC State midway through his senior year to get some familiarity with the program, and I think that helped him off the jump, just getting, rehabbing with the same people, just getting more comfortable and familiar with the program and the college. Now, Smith averaged just over 18 points a game, around 6 assists, and a little under 5 rebounds. And he's a very strong guard. He's physical. He fits that mold of the high-scoring guard who's very athletic, explosive, can get to the rim that you've seen of recent years. Guys like Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook, Eric Bledsoe, etc., who aren't necessarily pass first, but have the ability to create for their teammates. And that's something that Smith consistently showed throughout the season. Even if the team wasn't able to excel, he was able to create for his teammates throughout the year. Now, he does do a good job of getting to the free throw line. He averaged 7 free throw attempts per 40 minutes via NBADraft.net. And his three-point shot definitely improved throughout the season. As you saw against Duke, he could get hot in a hurry, and is a guy who, when that shot is going down, with his ability to get to the rim and his fearlessness, to get to the basket off the bounce, and his handle ability, if that three-point shot is going down, it is really tough to guard him. Now, on the defensive end of the court, he's pretty good, but there is room for improvement there. He is a bit of a ball hawk. He can get you some steals for sure, and he has the defensive tools that you look for in a guard prospect, especially a point guard prospect, with his ability to move his feet laterally, as well as his just overall athleticism and his length at that position. Now, Smith does have some negatives for sure. He doesn't do the best job of having the offense flow throughout the course of the game. There are times where he's very good at getting everyone involved, but there are other times where he could be a bit more unselfish, do a better job of just getting other people involved and getting the ball out of his hands to just keep other players engaged. His three-point shot, like I said, improved throughout the season, but it's still just an area to keep an eye on. I don't think it's going to be an issue. I'm actually pretty confident that he's going to be at least a solid three-point shooter, if not a good one at the next level. But just something to keep an eye on as he goes through the progression into the NBA, as well as turnovers. He can get a little bit careless with the basketball, and at times he isn't as clean as he should be, and I think that's just going to come with maturity. Now, there have been some question marks about Dennis Smith's maturity, and to me, I think it's a little overblown. This guy just he has one of the higher upsides in this draft, and something that I talked to John about. And just, he's in that upper tier group of guys, but I think of that upper tier, he's got one of the higher ceilings. You got to put his ceiling right up there with, Isaac, to me, and Markelle Fultz as one of the highest ceilings in this draft. But there are some questions about where his floor is. Will his defensive consistency pick up? But I just think offensively, he has all the tools there to be a superstar type player on the offensive end of the court. Therefore, to me, he's a top 5 player in my mind in this draft. Do I expect him to go top 5? Not really. I think that possibly the Kings at 5 should and will take a look at him. I see the Knicks at 8 as another possible landing spot for Smith. But really, teams gotta weigh whether they can put the ball in his hands. Are they comfortable with him being their lead guard? Because he's going to play best with the ball in his hands. And do they feel that some of these question marks about his defense, his maturity, are going to come and kind of just erode with time as he just matures and grows? Because frankly, some of these question marks are just things that young players are surrounded with, and I think that his consistency and his work ethic are just going to improve, and this player is going to be a very good to great NBA player for many years to come. But guys, I want to hear your thoughts about Dennis Smith. What do you think about his future? What other prospects do you want to see me profile? As always, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't already for more great draft content, both from the NBA and the NFL. Thanks for listening, guys, and I'm out.